Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to another weather forecast here by Agent Weather Forecast. This is actually going to be a severe weather video on the upcoming severe weather threat for next week. It looks like a multi-day severe weather threat all the way from Tuesday up to possibly points in Friday. We can be seeing major severe weather bands throughout these areas in the south central parts of the Mississippi River as well. I made my maps earlier today, so this is again extremely accurate as of right now. We also are going to be looking at the Cape values. We're going to be looking at the energy index. We're going to be looking at the radars. We're going to be looking at the SPC. We're going to be looking at the SCP, and we're going to be looking at all of that so you guys can see exactly where we can possibly have a severe weather risk and exactly how high it is. I will, if I have to, I'll have another tropical update later today, but I'm not expecting to. But of course, if we have finally that risk or that disturbance, I'll post. But as of right now, I won't. But be sure to subscribe. We are so close to 2,240 subscribers, so please hit the subscribe button. But without further ado, let's get in this video. So this is my map that I made earlier today, like not too far after my hurricane or my tropical update here. So this is what I really think exactly what it'll be right now. So I really see possibly a slight to an enhanced risk in some of these areas. So this is where I think I have our area of focus. So if you're in any color of red or any color whatsoever, this is where you have that's where, if you're in any of those colors, you have a potential risk for severe weather throughout much of next week. This is going to be a risk. Really looks like the main day might be on possibly Tuesday, or sorry, possibly Thursday. Looks like the main day, but we can be seeing these bands developing all the way to Tuesday to Wednesday and possibly even Friday. So very widespread and multi-day threat. So in the lighter shade of red, we have millions, of course, all the way from Texas, all the way up to Iowa, Nebraska, even as far east as parts of Kentucky and Indiana. So if you're in that light red, you can be seeing a smaller risk, but a possibility for seeing some strong severe weather bands. You're a bit on the lower side, maybe just a marginal risk. I would not doubt. Maybe a slight risk in some of these areas. I can't for sure tell you exactly where, because it's still around 4 days out, maybe possibly 3 days out, even 5 days out. So it's still exactly not 100% accurate, and obviously this is going to change a lot. But it looks like our best area of focus for severe weather-wise throughout next week seems to be the South Central now, but it seems to be now much of Oklahoma now, much of Kansas, not the tips of these states, not like Arkansas, Missouri, Kansas, and Oklahoma. It actually seems to be more of like a general or like our real tornado alley, like parts of much of Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, and Texas. So, and Garden City, Wichita, Woodward, Oklahoma City, Ardmore, Gainesville, Lawton, possibly even out there near Topeka, parts of southern Nebraska. You guys you will be having really the best chance for a strong severe weather band. And of course, this is going to change. This map's going to change gradually, but this is what I know as of right now. But now let's get into the models. Now I'll go ahead and take it to the day 5 outlook. The reason why I think this could possibly be the reason why I'm making this video so far, even though it's so far out, is because the SPC literally has a 15% chance now for severe weather, which is most likely a slight to maybe even enhanced risk for severe weather. So the fact that they actually have the confidence this far out means that it's very likely. So usually they don't really do that until like they're really confident. As you can tell in the Easter outbreak, they only put the percentage until it was day 4. So as you can tell, definitely look like we're definitely have a really big and high confidence for the day 4, which is actually Thursday. So this is where we have our area of focus. As you see, most of these areas are actually in my darker shade of red, but not all of them, of course. Because I think this general risk will also become a bit more widespread as well into Oklahoma, and a bit more to the east and all of that. But that 15% chance is really around for 2 million people already. So that's already a very widespread threat, including Lawton, Enid, Salina, Hutchinson, and Garden City. So that's what we have as of right now for the SPC. Of course, we might even have a smaller risk, maybe even for day 4. I would not doubt even for day 6. So like I said, definitely be a widespread threat. As we now look into the radars are showing kind of like the least biggest threat, or the least probability for this happening, really. As you can tell by May 13th, which is a Wednesday, we're already seeing some severe weather developing throughout Oklahoma, Texas. This can be quite severe. Maybe not as severe as maybe Thursday, but it seems like Wednesday, like I said, we will be seeing bands not only just on Thursday, but much of the week. So Wednesday, you guys are gonna be seeing some really strong pop-up storms, and then as we get to Wednesday, or start on May 14th, with a Thursday, this is when we start to see that severe weather risk throughout parts of Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, even out there some potential heavy rain there into the Midwest. But here we have our defined low pressure system to the west. That's going to possibly bring some severe weather throughout Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, and maybe just a couple of thunders or two out there into parts of the Midwest. And then even by later Friday, May 15th, we have another round of severe weather with another low pressure system. So it's going to be on and off severe weather. But as of right now, it seems like Thursday has the best probability. But we're going to be seeing severe weather across, just across really much of the South Central, just for much of the week. So it does seem it's not just going to be one day of a possibility for severe weather, but multiple days. So that's exactly why I'm keeping an eye on this, because it's not going to be just day 5, but maybe even day 3 might start that severe weather. So it's a bit closer than what you think. As pivotal weather showing by May 12th, which is that Tuesday, we already have severe weather developing throughout parts of Texas, maybe even New Mexico, even seeing possibility for some thunders or two throughout Kansas out there into those areas. Maybe even seeing some snow for Kansas in those areas as well. That's actually really, really strange if you guys saw that. But as we now move more to Tuesday, as you see, we are going to be seeing that same severe weather throughout parts of the South Central, Missouri, Oklahoma, Kansas, and even parts of Texas. This is all going to be because of the overday heating. So and that's also why we're going to be seeing widespread, very high Cape values. So we're definitely going to be seeing all the possibilities for severe weather. Of course, like, it's too far safe. It's going to cap out or anything. Again, this is just a preview, or this is just like this is just introducing the severe weather risk, not saying, oh, it's going to happen. This is just introducing that we have a possibility for severe weather. Even by Wednesday, that threat is kind of minimized a little bit, but seeing on and off showers. We're going to be seeing multiple bands that do develop because, of course, overday heating and all of that. But as we now get into Thursday, that's when the severe weather risk is going to get a bit higher now. That's going to be for Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, possibly can get that severe weather. And even by Friday, we still seen those on and off bands. Now let's get into the other, like the supercell composite parameter and Cape. So now we're looking at surface-based CAPE. So this is going to see the amount of energy in the atmosphere to produce all these bands. That's including the overday heating, moisture, humidity, instability, all of those all those ingredients. So as you see, by Wednesday, we are already seeing some decent numbers throughout parts of the South Central. We're going to be seeing some 3,000s, could be mid 3,000s, really could be maybe getting on the lower side. So that's already before the main severe weather risk. As we now get into Thursday, this is when these numbers get a bit higher. You're going to be seeing some higher 3,000s. That's going to go all the way to Kansas. And then as we get later into the day, it does go down once again. And as we now get later into Thursday, closer into the night or the overnight hours, kind of the evening, this threat does go once again. And we're going to be seeing possibility for some higher numbers throughout Kansas, Oklahoma. We're going to be seeing some high 3,000s, maybe getting close to 4,000 joules per kilogram. And as we get into Friday in the overnight and early morning hours, look at this. We're going to be seeing extremely high K values, but not just for Oklahoma and Texas, but even Kansas and Missouri. You guys actually might have the highest numbers. Could be seeing up to some high 4,000 for Kansas City, and also up to mid 4,000 for St. Joseph. So this is not just a South Central, but maybe a general Central Plains system. Going to be seeing, of course, a widespread 4,000 joules per kilogram, and that threat does go down by later Friday. And I think we're going to still see some decent amount of Cape values, which is what we saw a possibility for even more severe weather, maybe in the weekend. So we're still going to be seeing a decent amount of Cape values once this threat minimizes. So that could possibly bring in another outbreak just after, or not just outbreak, maybe just a severe weather band. As we now move into supercell composite parameter, this is going to be indicating the possibility for supercells in these areas. So really anything higher than a 20 in general is really high. So even by later Wednesday, we're still seeing decent numbers here, up to 11s to possibly 16s, which is actually a decent possibility for supercells. The fact that they are showing these numbers really decently high this far out, it is indicating that there is actually a decent chance for this to happen. as we move more into Wednesday, over day numbers do die down. So that supercell threat does go down into more on Wednesday in the day, but into Thursday morning, that threat skyrockets. It's going to be seen at 32, some low 30s on the S&P, which is actually very, very high. And then that possibility on Thursday actually becomes a bit more widespread now, actually into the Ozarks, into the Midwest. Going to be seeing some single digits, so not extremely high, but we're actually going to be seeing up to possibly our highest SCP on parts of Iowa, northern Missouri, up some high teens, getting close to a 20, and even higher numbers still across Texas and Oklahoma. So like I said, very high threat, and then by later Friday night, those numbers do go down. Now as we look into the energy helicity index, so this is basically going to be showing you the amount of rotation really in the atmosphere. So of course here you're going to be comparing from 0 to 16. So obviously the closer to 16, the more rotation, the possibility, of course, there's going to be a very high index here, helicity index. So we're going to be seeing already starting off some decent numbers starting off Wednesday. Of course, Wednesday is when we start to see these numbers getting a bit higher. That's when you see Kate starting to come up. That's when you see the SCP coming up. That's when you see really even those pop-up storms coming up. So it seems like Wednesday might even have a risk as well. So I would not doubt that. So even going to be seeing now some decent, they're going to be not extremely high, but decent numbers throughout Wednesday. And as we now get later into Thursday morning, numbers get absolutely crazy throughout Oklahoma and parts of Kansas. That's exactly why I put my darker shade of red more into getting closer to the Texas and Oklahoma border there. That's exactly why we're going to be seeing up to double digits here, up to tens out here on the helicity. Absolutely crazy here. So this is definitely some high risk. And as you can tell, tornado is a hazard. And as you can kind of tell, it does seem like, of course, we can be seeing a possibility for some low caps. So that could obviously doesn't seem like we're going to be seeing high caps. So it seems like definitely strong bands are likely to form and strengthen. Even going to be seeing some higher numbers by later Thursday in the night, and even by later Friday, the numbers go up once again. But not only are they just in Texas and Oklahoma, they become all the way up to Iowa. So this is exactly why I think that risk can go all the way to Iowa. And my map wasn't just for Thursday. It was actually in general for the whole week. So you're going to be seeing now 10.2 on these numbers. Marginal risk for tornado, absolutely crazy. And of course, you can't predict a tornado's strength all the way out until you actually see the damage. But it seems like we could be seeing decent tornadoes, and seems like a cap is absolutely crazy. It's going to be very, very low. So that is indicating this thing might not cap out. So that's increasing that threat. So I know this is very far out. I know it's going to change multiple times, of course. I'm just warning you guys. I'm just thinking because the fact that they had the confidence to have a risk for day 5, and the fact that the models have the confidence to show these high numbers so far out is absolutely crazy, and it's a little concerning. But I'm not saying we're gonna have a huge tornado outbreak. I'm not saying we're gonna be seeing huge tornadoes, any of that. Of course, I can't say that until we get a lot closer. Just seems like it's gonna be something to worry about or watch out for. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and bye guys.